My name is Clara Morgan, and I'm 58 years old. If someone had told me 10 years ago that I would one day be terrified of my own daughter, I would have laughed in their face. But here I am today, living in fear inside the very house I bought with my life's savings. A house that no longer feels like mine. A house that has slowly swallowed my voice, my identity, and my freedom. My daughter, Alyssa, wasn't always a monster. She used to be the kind of little girl who made me handmade cards on Mother's Day, who hugged me every night before bed, who cried if I got even a small headache. But the Alyssa I raised is gone. The woman living under my roof now is someone I don't recognize. It all started after her divorce last year, a messy breakup that left her homeless, angry, and desperate. She showed up at my door one cold night with mascara running down her cheeks, holding a tiny suitcase. "Mom, please, I have nowhere else to go." And like the foolish mother I've always been, I opened my arms, my heart, and my home. For the first few weeks, she was quiet, withdrawn, broken. But then her anger started to grow roots. She started criticizing everything I did. "Mom, why does this house always smell like old people? Mom, you can't cook anything properly, can you? Mom, don't talk so loudly. It's embarrassing." Little jabs, but they cut deep. Then she started taking over my finances. "Mom, you're almost 60. You shouldn't be managing online banking alone. What if you get scammed?" I trusted her. I let her handle my accounts. Within months, I realized my pension had stopped coming into my account because Alyssa had quietly changed everything. She controlled every dollar, every bill, every purchase, every grocery item. My allowance? $15 a week. I wasn't a mother anymore. I wasn't even a person. I was a burden she tolerated, barely. The abuse started subtly. Raised voices, harsh words, slammed doors. But last week, she crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. It was a cold Tuesday night. I had made her favorite dinner, creamy garlic pasta, hoping it might ease her mood. She took one bite, spat it out, and looked at me with pure disgust. "What is this? This tastes like glue. Are you trying to ruin my day?" "I'm sorry, honey. Let me remake it." "No," she snapped. "You know what? I'm done with your excuses." She grabbed the steaming pot, and before I could step back, she threw it at me. The boiling pasta slid down my arms, burning my skin. I screamed, but she didn't stop. "You're useless," she shouted, pushing me against the stove. "You can't cook, you can't clean, you can't even exist without messing something up." When she finally stormed out of the kitchen, I fell to the floor, shaking, burned, covered in sauce and humiliation. That night, while I sat on the cold tiles cleaning the mess with trembling hands, something inside me broke. Not my heart, not my body, but the last piece of fear that kept me silent for so long. For the first time in years, I felt something rise inside me. Not anger, not hate, but clarity. I realized if I didn't save myself now, Alyssa would destroy me. The next morning, Alyssa came downstairs dressed in a designer beige coat, bought with my money, sipping iced coffee she made using the expensive machine I never wanted. "Mom," she ordered without even looking at me, "I invited some coworkers for dinner tonight. Make something fancy and don't look like a mess. You embarrass me enough already." I nodded quietly, but my heart wasn't trembling this time. It was beating with a plan. For hours, I cleaned the house, prepared food, and set the table, all while keeping my burnt arms hidden under long sleeves. But I wasn't focused on dinner. I was focused on revenge. Not the kind that involves violence, not the kind that leaves blood on the floor. No, I planned a different kind of justice, the kind that would expose her truth. When her guests arrived, Alyssa transformed into an angelic host, laughing, smiling, complimenting everyone. She wrapped her arm around me and said loudly, "This is my amazing mother. She's the sweetest woman alive." Sweetest alive. Words she never meant. But I smiled, because I knew something she didn't. While she was busy charming her coworkers, I quietly stepped into her room, unlocked her laptop, opened her email, opened her bank records, and opened her private messages, and took pictures of everything. Screenshots of her transferring my pension to her personal shopping apps, receipts of the money she borrowed, voice notes where she insulted me, videos from hidden cameras she didn't know I found, cameras she used to monitor me when she wasn't home. I sent it all to her boss, to her HR department, to her ex-husband's lawyer, and to the two coworkers sitting downstairs. With one click, Alyssa's perfect little world shattered. 10 minutes later, I heard it. Her phone buzzing, her laughter stopping, her footsteps turning sharp, her voice trembling. "Mom, what did you do?" I walked downstairs with calmness I hadn't felt in years. I told the truth. "You ruined my life." "You were ruining mine." Her coworker stared at her with disgust. Alyssa sank to the floor, crying, shaking, screaming that I had betrayed her. But I didn't feel guilty, not even for a second. She packed her things and left that night, screaming, threatening, promising revenge. But she didn't come back, because within 24 hours, she lost her job, her reputation, her financial power, and the house, it was always mine. For the first time in years, the house was silent. Not the kind of silence filled with fear, but the kind filled with peace. The silence of freedom. People think monsters live in darkness, but sometimes they grow in the very people we raised with love. And sometimes we have to become brave enough to save ourselves from our own blood. I don't know what Alyssa's future holds, but I know mine. A cup of tea, a quiet home, a locked door, and the strength I thought I had lost forever. Because this time, I saved myself, and I survived.